When did Joe Budden get so soft?
50 Cent makes Joe Budden leave the Knicks game early, and 50's man said he was going to rob Joe? Yeah, at the Knicks game yesterday, 50 Cent and Joe Budden would cross paths yet again. Joe Budden would have to leave the game early, and I largely think it was because he wanted to avoid anything that would happen as a result of his recent comments about 50 Cent that made him angry. But there was also another issue. 50's friend or peoples would post that they were also at the Knicks game and said they wanted to take Joe Budden's chain, but 50 said no. Shout out to 50 Cent, man. He truly gave him grace. And that whole night was really, really awkward because Joe Budden was positioned directly behind 50 Cent and Fat Joe, and it just looked like something was going to happen.
What up, words? Your boy Charles Brown back again talking facts. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe, hit the notification bell. Keep sending those Cashaps to CLBMG. Join the membership. Gang, listen, this is not my Joe Budden. This is not the Joe Budden I remember from back in the day. Pump it up, Joe Budden. I'm just going to be honest. I don't know what's happening here, gang. I want to discuss this because this, to me, don't make no sense. Let's have a discussion. When I first started this channel, right, my channel in the very beginning, I was very clear about I really didn't really care for Joe Budden. I thought he was he rubbed me the wrong way. Let's put it like that. I used to be a promoter. I did a couple shows. And during those shows, I have well-documented videos about what went on in those shows. And Joe Budden, just for lack of a better word, annoyed me. I'm just going to be honest. Joe Budden has annoyed me for years. He annoyed me on Love and Hip Hop. He annoyed me when he came to my city. Those 2 or 3 times, every time he did something annoying, I'm just going to be honest. And he annoyed me after, once he got his podcast. And he even annoyed me, believe it or not, when I used to think that Rory and Mal were kind of cool when they were on his show, when he kicked them off unceremoniously, when he fired them via, through like text or something nonsense. And it was just a whole thing. I used to document it, and my channel was very, in the beginning, pro Rory and Mal, and I'm not gonna say anti Joe Budden, but it wasn't very friendly to Joe Budden. Let's just say that. And I got a lot of subscribers back then that wanted to hear that kind of conversation, right? I just thought Joe Budden just was very untrustworthy. I saw a lot of stuff he did on Love and Hip Hop, to Tahiri, and a lot of other people, and I felt like I had a lot of behind the scenes interaction, not necessarily directly with Joe, but through people that was managing him at the time. So it just was a weird situation. I didn't like how some of the things went down, right? So I say all that to say this. With all that being said, Joe Budden is a rapper from Jersey. Joe Budden is a hood dude that was out in these streets. If I'm not mistaken, he used to roll deep to places. He used to be like, yo, listen, Jersey in the building. For some strange reason, somehow, some way, this money has turned Joe into super soft. I don't know why Joe Budden is scared of 50 Cent for whatever reason, but 50 Cent basically got this man running up out of the Knicks game. Why? What's going on? So Joe Budden allegedly, or not allegedly, he did a podcast, one of his shows, and he was discussing 50 Cent's response to Irv Gotti when Irv Gotti passed, and 50 Cent put out that picture saying, I'm smoking on either a Irv pack or Gotti pack or Irv, whatever he said, something, it was disrespectful to Irv Gotti. And we all know why. He got beef, eternal beef. These dudes gonna be in heaven or hell beefing still. So he said what he said, and I believe Joe Budden started to discuss it. And during that discussion, Joe Budden said 50 Cent needs therapy. I guess 50 Cent, as he should, took offense to that. And he saw him at a strip club. Joe Budden allegedly left early that night. Then he saw him at the Knicks game, and Joe Budden allegedly left early again with his girl. And his girl went online saying, oh, the game was great. I had a great time. We just had to leave 2 minutes early because I was a little saucy. Now, we all saw 50 Cent. Well, I didn't see it till the next day. Saw 50 Cent give homeboy a bear hug, and he whispered something in his ear. Now, let me just say this. Joe Budden is a podcaster. He is a YouTube influencer. He is a social media I'm not going to say icon, but he's a personality, okay? I am a social media personality. We both know full well that when we say whatever we say, we can run into that person. We can meet that person. Something could go down because of what you're saying about that person. And I'm just going to be honest. I'm a grown man. I'm a man of a certain age where I'm not going to be out here fist fighting and tussling and doing all that. And I understand that. And the people that I'm talking about are the same age. So there's no reason for us to be out here tussling and fist fighting, right? But at the very same time, you never know what's going to happen. So if you're going to be a person who talks about these things, right, you're going to have to accept that someone will not be happy with what you're saying. Now, me, I'm not worth nowhere near as much money as Joe Budden. Not even close. Joe Budden's worth millions of dollars. So at this point, Joe Budden gets paid to talk about celebrities that may not take kindly to what he says. If you're going to walk around with no security like he does with just you and your girl, then you either a hard-ass mofo or you got somebody that's in the background protecting you. I've seen videos of 50 being out places with people in the background protecting him, whether you could see them or not, right? My whole thing is this, and I'm not telling Joe Budden to be tough and he's in a situation that's uncomfortable. Yeah, sure, leave, right? But he also deleted the video where he said 50 Cent needs therapy. So my whole thing is, why are you saying these things that you're not going to stand on? It's very few things on this channel I'm going to say that I'm not going to stand on. I'm just going to be honest. Right? I only deleted one video in the last year that had something to do with something that people didn't agree with me, right? But for the most part, I don't delete videos and I don't stand down when people say whatever they're going to say. And some people get really mad about these videos, right? So I'm trying to figure out why you're running out of these places every time you see 50 Cent. But you're talking about 50 Cent. You have a podcast. You got, how many? You got grown men in that joint. There's 5, 6 of y'all in there plus that girl. Y'all talking about everything under the sun. Very disrespectfully, I might add. Budden get worked up about every other thing on that show. Screaming and yelling. Smashing shit like, yeah. So at this point, you got to know, when I go out into these streets, somebody might be mad. Especially at 50 Cent. My thing is, first of all, don't talk about a guy that you're scared to see. I'm just going to be honest. Again, I'm going to reiterate. I ain't no tough guy by no stretch of the imagination. I'm not going to be out here trying to beat my chest and act like I'm this hard rock walking around. But at the same exact time, I know that when I say these things, somebody may be feeling a way. And I got to understand that. Now, let's say if I'm Joe Budden. First of all, what is 50 Cent really going to do to you at the Knicks game? What's really going to happen? You're going right outside, right into your car. Why are you leaving for? You sat there and watched the whole damn game. In the last 2 minutes, the game was close. And then you get up and leave, take your girl out of there? Soft. And I understand sometimes you want to be out of some situations uncomfortable, right? It could be a little old lady that I don't want to see. I'm like, oh man, let's get out of here. It could be, I understand that. But it don't look like you're just leaving because uncomfortable. He ran you out of a strip club and then he ran you out of the Knicks game. How many times you gonna run, gang? Just gonna be honest. I'm not telling you to pull out guns and go bang bang or shoot or fight, wild out, pull out knives or get your drill crew or posse, da-da-da. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about violence. I don't think 50 Cent gonna do nothing to you. And his man talking about he was gonna rob you. 50 stopped him. 50 stopped this nigga from doing 10 years in prison. He ain't stopped. That's just not hard. That's not good. You're gonna try to rob the man at the Knicks game. Joe Budden's going right out into his car. So where you gonna rob him at? In the tunnel? Where you gonna rob him at? So no, we're not jocking that he's about to get robbed and he's about to get hurt, da-da-da. So what you running for? I'm trying to figure out why you running, letting this nigga put bear hugs on you and shit. Like, at some point, gang, at some point, you got to take the power back in this situation. I don't think he's going to do nothing to you. He ain't going to punch you in the stomach like that. Like, come on, gang. Like, you're right now, it's real soft. 50 might be bigger than you, but at some point, you're a man. Like, you're a grown man. I would expect this from academics, right? But he chasing you out of this, chasing you out of that. You deleting videos. Gang, scary and spooky out here. I don't think you in the right profession. Either you need a bodyguard or you might need to change professions or stop talking about certain people altogether. If 50, that's scary, right? I wouldn't advise you to talk about him. It's a way to talk about a man that you don't offend him, right? It's a way to talk about a man that you don't offend him, right? But to be this leery of a dude, where when you see him on sight, you're running up out of there. I don't know what he's saying in your ear, but I'm just going to be honest. I'm not a tough guy, gang, but I'm not that guy. I'm not the guy you're going to bear hug me whispering in my ear, because whatever you whispering, you probably going to have to do it right then and there. I'm just going to be honest. I'm not a tough guy, but I take my personal respect very seriously. I take my personal space very seriously. I am like literally probably the nicest guy you ever gonna meet in real life. Probably nicer than the nicest guy you ever met. That's why I take it so serious. Like it's crash out to me. You know what I mean? I take it very serious where you're gonna bear hug me, whispering in my ear, trying to make me intimidated. I don't do well. And again, I'm not a tough, I'm not this and that. But to watch a man bear hug and intimidate, I don't like bullies, gang. I don't like bullies. Like a bully would put me straight on crash out mode. So I'm trying to figure out why Joe Budden is letting this man just bully him. You're a grown man. You got, do he got kids? I don't know, but I know he got people that don't want to see him in these situations. So what I'm saying is, Buttons, come on, man. You got to man up. You got to figure out, is this worth it? If you can't walk into these places and enjoy yourself, right? Didn't somebody swing on him at the other strip club? Gang, get some security. You making enough money. Throw that in the package. Throw the security budget in the package when you resign. You shouldn't be letting these dudes run you all up in our up. You can't enjoy yourself. You throwing your ones in the strip club, and these dudes come swing on it. Would you hit him in the back of the head or some crazy shit? Budden, please, gang. Listen, gang. If you're not going to defend yourself, get somebody else to defend you. You can't be running all up and through around New York and all through Jersey. You know what I'm saying? Where they got you running all around scary. That ain't very Jersey. I'm just going to be honest. Don't get mad at me. Don't shoot the messenger. You know what I mean? Don't shoot the messenger. But again, I'm not looking for problems from you or whoever else. This is what I do for a living. And I'm just saying, what you're doing is wild. Don't come after me when you won't go out to 50. All right? Let's leave it at that. CLBMG. Get in the comments. Let me know what you think. I think Joe Budden hit another level of soft, gang, and it's just kind of sad to see. Just gonna be honest, man. Head over to black-yeti.com, see what they got going on. They got a lot of good prices, some of the best in the business. He said he got the longest burning black rolling papers in the country, according to him. Head over black-yeti.com, all right? I'm gonna catch y'all on that flip side. Peace.
Look, mission impossible to drop a few lines without dropping old times when Southern Hill was still a gold mine. When pistol grips was my shit and I sold mine. When Alias was not a show and they told mine. Elevate your mind with high quality THC infused products. BlackYeti.com. Black-Yeti.com.
CLB.